Okay, seriously, guys, Google just dropped Gemini 3, and I feel like no one is truly grasping how big this actually is. So stop what you are doing right now. I mean it. Put the phone down, or actually keep it in your hand, but really listen because we need to talk about this immediately. Look, for the last year or so, everyone has been sleeping on Google, right? Like, people said they were behind. They said they couldn't ship products. They said search was dying. Well, look at the benchmarks. Look at what they just released. The sleeping giant hasn't just woken up, it is absolutely sprinting right now. And look, I know what you're probably thinking right now. You see the number go from 2.5 to 3.0 and you think, okay, what is the big news here? We're seeing this type of incremental update from every AI company every single week right now. But trust me, this isn't just a little update. This isn't just a standard version increase. This is honestly the most intelligent model you can get your hands on today. And I want to break this down specifically for you guys because I know a lot of you are using these tools for work, for business, trying to figure out if this stuff is actually useful or just hype. And frankly, I've been digging into the white papers and the technical reports behind this, and there are some massive implications here that most people are glossing over. So stick with me because we are going to go deep on this. So let's start with the multimodal stuff. And I know that sounds like a buzzword we throw around constantly in tech, but Gemini 3 takes it literally. I mean, think about this. You have a dense technical PDF. Maybe it's a contract, maybe it's a scientific paper on deep learning or material science. Normally, you drop that into ChatGPT or Claude and ask for a summary, right? And gives you text. Boring. Gemini 3 reads the text, understands the actual concepts behind the words, and then it can build a fully interactive 3D educational app from scratch, simply based on that document. Zero shot, no training, just boom, here it is. It handles the user interface, the typography, the buttons, and it actually renders 3D visualizations of the molecules described in the paper. Now, let's analyze what that actually means for us because it's deeper than just making cool apps. What we're seeing here is the transition from information retrieval, where you just find a document, to information transformation, where the AI takes static dead data and converts it into a working software tool on the fly. Think about corporate training manuals. Think about compliance documents getting turned into interactive checklists automatically. This collapses the cost of software creation to almost zero for simple tasks. And for those of you running businesses, this is a massive efficiency unlock because you're taking friction out of the system. You're taking knowledge that is trapped in a PDF graveyard and making it actionable instantly. But visuals are easy compared to video, and this is where Google really flexes that massive context window they have. You can show this thing a 10-second clip of a pickleball match or a tennis swing. Not only does it know the rules of the game, but it's doing biomechanical analysis. It's looking at your wrist tilt, your follow-through, your split-step timing, and breaking it down like a seasoned coach. And here's my analysis on why this specific feature changes the game. It's not about pickleball. It's about digitizing physical expertise. Imagine you run a manufacturing floor or a logistics center. You can now have an AI watch video of a worker lifting a box and analyze ergonomic risks in real time, or watch a complex repair job and flag mistakes before the unit ships. We're moving from AI that only lives in text to AI that understands the physics of the real world, and that's huge for industries outside of just Silicon Valley. This is real-world application of intelligence. And for the creators out there, or honestly just anyone with an idea, this is where it gets scary good. We've seen image to code before, right? You take a screenshot, it gives you some broken code. Gemini 3 is doing end-to-end product creation. You can literally sketch a messy diagram of a chess app or a floor plan on a napkin at a bar, snap a picture of it, and tell Gemini to make it real. And it doesn't just give you snippets, it builds the full HTML, the CSS, the logic. What this signals is a shift in what matters in the workforce. Technical syntax knowledge is becoming less valuable, while architectural thinking and system design is becoming everything. If you're a product manager or a business owner, you don't need to wait for a dev team to prototype something. You can validate ideas instantly. This is rapid prototyping at a speed we have never seen before. It's collapsing the distance between having an idea and having a product to almost zero. And that speed is going to be the differentiator for businesses moving forward. But let's talk about the stuff you're actually going to use every single day. Google search, and your email. They're rolling out this new thing called AI mode, and the keyword here is thinking. Finally, we have thinking models inside search. When you ask a complex question now, it doesn't just fetch 10 blue links and hope you figure it out. It breaks the query down, it plans a research path, it checks multiple sources, and synthesizes an answer. It's active, not passive. Now, from a business analysis standpoint, this is Google cannibalizing its own business model, right? Their whole empire was built on you clicking links and seeing ads. If the AI just gives you the answer and does the work, the ad revenue model has to change. But they had to do this, because if they didn't, Perplexity or OpenAI would have eaten their lunch. This is Google betting the farm on utility over ad impressions, and for us as users, it's the end of search drudgery. And they are bringing this agency to your inbox, which frankly is a mess if it is anything like mine. Gemini can now scan your emails, understand the context, draft replies, schedule meetings based on your actual calendar availability, and actually execute tasks. It is finally acting like that digital personal assistant we were promised 5 years ago by Siri and Alexa. Except it actually works. It is doing the work, not just talking about it. Imagine the productivity gain if you can reclaim even 30 minutes of email triage a day. That creates huge leverage for executives and business owners. Now, developers or anyone who manages developers, listen up because this is critical. The coding benchmarks, Gemini 3 is crushing them on Live Code Bench, which is basically competitive programming for AI. It scored over 2,400. That's elite human territory. It's practically double what some previous models were doing just a few months ago. But Google isn't just giving you a model, right? They're giving you a platform called anti-gravity. And think of this like your coding environment on steroids. It's an agent-first environment, so you aren't just writing code, you're managing agents. You tell it the architecture, and it spins up multiple AI agents to write the code, debug in the terminal, check the browser, and fix its own mistakes. My take on this is that we're seeing the rise of the 10x engineer for real this time, but not because they type faster, but because they're effectively managing a team of junior digital developers. If you're running a small business or a startup, your burn rate just went down significantly because one senior person with these tools can do the work of 5 people from 2 years ago. This is huge for legacy code migration too. Think about all those old systems banks and insurance companies run on. Moving that code is a nightmare normally, but with a massive context window and reasoning capabilities, Gemini 3 can digest entire code bases and help rewrite them. That's a billion-dollar use case right there. And here's the thing most people are missing in the charts, because I know benchmark charts are boring, but look at the ARC AGI-2 benchmark. This is the gold standard for abstract reasoning. This is the stuff humans find easy, but AI usually fails at completely. Gemini 3 didn't just improve it, it skyrocketed. It's approaching the human baseline, which proves it's not just memorizing GitHub repositories, it's actually reasoning through novel problems it has never seen before. And there's this thing called the vending bench, which sounds funny, but it tests long-term consistency. Can the AI run a business simulation over thousands of steps without forgetting the price of soda or hallucinating that it has inventory it doesn't have? Gemini 3's curve goes up and to the right. It stays coherent. It has a memory that actually works. Why does this matter? Because reliability has been the #1 thing holding enterprises back from deploying AI at scale. Nobody wants an AI that works great for 5 minutes and then hallucinates a discount code that loses the company money. This improved high-horizon consistency means we can finally trust these agents with multi-day complex workflows. And look at the browser use benchmarks, getting nearly 73% on Gaia-verified browser use evaluations. That's huge. Compare that to other models that struggle around 50%. This means the agent can actually navigate the web like a human, clicking buttons, filling forms, handling dynamic JavaScript-heavy sites without crashing or getting confused. This is the precursor to agents that can actually do your shopping, book your travel, and handle your administrative backend tasks on legacy web portals that don't have APIs. Is it perfect? No, absolutely not. There's this funny example floating around Twitter right now where people ask it to count fingers in a distorted image, and it still struggles with that spatial overlap. It sees textures and shapes, but sometimes misses the 3D reality. So look, we're not at full AGI yet. It can still get confused on edge cases, especially with spatial reasoning in generated images. But honestly, Looking at these leaps in reasoning, coding, and just understanding the world through video and audio, Google is back, and the competition, honestly, better start running because for a minute there, we thought Google was out of the game, and they just dropped the mic. I'm going to be testing this anti-gravity IDE heavily this week because I want to see if it can actually replace a junior developer. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that deep dive. I'll catch you in the next one.